Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Abby Lutz.
And I'm Samantha Pankel. Thanks for joining us.
Election day is now less than 2 weeks away. Despite that, Lieutenant Governor Eric Holcomb took a break from the campaign trail. Instead, he came to Muncie to help deliver good news. Reporter Abby Kirk has more on the story.
If you go downtown in Muncie, you might notice attractions such as the Liberty Pass Canal, but without the help of state funding, this canal might just be a normal street corner.
Lieutenant Governor Eric Holcomb helped bring some of that funding to Muncie today in the form of a $150,000 grant. 6 counties in East Central Indiana will be using this grant in an effort to improve the quality of life in their cities. Mayor Dennis Tyler says that he is excited about the opportunities that this presents.
This $150,000 really gives us the opportunity in East Central Indiana to begin to move our regional cities initiatives together for next year. And it's very exciting to be a part of that.
And Mayor Dennis Tyler plans to use the funding to reach his ultimate goal of improving the quality of life here in the city of Muncie and hopefully attracting a younger generation as well. In Muncie, Abby Kirk, NewsLink Indiana.
To learn more about the city's initiatives, visit downtownmuncie.org.
Ball State University's acting provost is out of the office due to illness. Acting Provost Bob Morris is fighting an infection at IU Health Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis. Morris is in intensive care. While he is stable and responding to treatments, he is unable to talk and cannot accept visitors. It is unknown how long Morris will be absent. Senior Associate Provost and Dean of University College, Marilyn Buck, is temporarily acting in Morris's position.
The new Ball State University Health Building now has funding. Democratic State Representative Sue Arrington said the State Budget Committee voted to allow the university's Board of Trustees to proceed with the project. The $62.5 million project was approved during today's committee meeting at Hanover College. The multi-phase project includes the future renovation or replacement of the locations that house programs in the Cooper Science Complex. The building site location has not yet been finalized for the 165,000 square foot structure.
Ball State and local high school students got the chance of a lifetime Thursday morning. They got the chance to watch while the Indiana Supreme Court argued a case.
For most students, being able to see a courtroom live in session would mean traveling. But today, the courtroom was brought to Burris Laboratory School students just a few walk away from the Burris Laboratory School social studies professor Brad Canada has been working to organize the Indiana Supreme Court's visit to Muncie for more than a year.
I'm known for my field trips, and I take my students to the local courthouse every year.
The visit allowed around 1,000 students to see the court in action and learn more about how the United States' government functions.
This may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them because I'm not sure if this will ever happen again. So it's a good opportunity for the students to see the highest level of the Indiana court system.
The Supreme Court hears 70 cases per year and sometimes travels around to conduct their oral arguments, but have never come to Ball State before. Justice Mark Massa described to the students what an appeals court does, making sure to distinguish between what they do and what a trial court does.
We do this because we want you to see the process firsthand of what appellate courts do.
Prior to the argument Thursday morning, Delaware County lawyers traveled around to classrooms to explain the background of the case to students so they wouldn't be lost while they were listening. Students had the chance to ask the justices questions they needed. Some wanted to know what it was as a justice, and others just wanted to know how they feel. The case in question today involved a karate kid gone wrong. A man executed the wrong kick on a woman during a practice session, causing the woman to fall down and tear her meniscus. 2 lower courts differed on their rulings, which is how the case ended up in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court hasn't made a ruling on this case yet, but will in the future. Live in Muncie, Kara Berg, NewsLink Indiana.
The court has only argued cases in 40 off-state site locations since 1994, so the appearance at Ball State was a rare one.
It seems the whole world is interested in this election, including Gary Young. He's a journalist from a British news organization called The Guardian. He is spending the weeks leading up to the election right here in Muncie twice a week. He's publishing articles. His reasons for choosing Muncie may be as unique as this election.
First of all, it was a town, or the county had voted for both Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, and to me that signified a place where the main parties were losing a grip on their bases, and that is happening elsewhere in the world. The second reason is that Muncie was the focus of the Middletown study in the 20s, and so there was a body of work already available.
Young will be giving a talk in room 104 in Bracken Library on Thursday, November 3rd at 7:30.
Well, Abby, it has been so cold today, and I gotta tell you, I'm not ready for the winter weather.
Yeah.
Jackie, what can you tell us about today's weather?
Yeah, well, it's definitely been chilly today. We saw clouds, a little bit of showers. Right now it's 51 degrees. The winds have died down just a tad at 10 miles per hour. That was a picture earlier of McKinley. You can see the clouds as well. Today in my full forecast later on, I will talk about how this might be the last day of cold we see in a while, and how the weekend will warm up just in time for Halloween, and what to expect for the festivities on Monday, up in my full forecast coming up.
The weather is getting colder, and the season for outdoor activities is coming to a close. Lindsay Ross is live in the newsroom with the story.
After being open since the beginning of June, time is running out for the public to shop at the Muncie Makers Market.
Every Saturday for 4 months, local vendors have pitched tents, set out handmade items, and waited for the public to come along and make a purchase. Hats, jewelry, and even dog treats have been sold. It's the market's first year in business, and organizer Moth Daner said it has been a success.
We sell out often and do very well.
Daner said it's done so well because one thing keeps bringing people back.
It gives you a feeling of home and connection.
But those feelings will be put on hold for a little while. Saturday is the final Makers Market of the season, and Daner said it will be missed.
We'll miss the friends we've made. You know, I know that a lot of the vendors refer to their other vendors as family and neighbors and friends, so we'll miss seeing them.
But for art vendor Wendy Carpenter, it also means something else.
It is kind of like, okay, now what am I going to do with my Saturday afternoons?
But empty Saturdays will not be the case for long. Tents will be pitched and handmade items will be sold again starting in April. And Daner said that's something that will never change.
I will do it until I don't want to anymore, and then I'll pass it on to somebody else.
The market is set up at the corner of Jackson and Cherry Street. Daner says for the final Makers Market on Saturday evening, the public can come and shop between 4 and 7. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Lindsay. Daner said that she is also planning an indoor market for December.
We don't have a script.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. After the stage collapse last year at Westfield High School, the school administration is responding to the lawsuit by saying that the students are also to blame. During a production at the high school, the stage collapsed underneath the students. The family of one of the students filed the lawsuit on charges of the school's negligence. The district filed their response on Wednesday by saying that the student contributed to the collapse and therefore is not entitled to any compensation.
The Beta Phi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is having their second Mr. Beta Phi scholarship pageant today. Allie Edmonds is live with more on the story.
Hello and good evening. I'm here on Ball State's campus now at the Student Center awaiting the start of the 2016 Mr. Beta Phi Scholarship Pageant. Now before we get into things going on here, I did have a chance to catch up with the contestants before the scholarship pageant tonight, as well as took a look at Mr. Beta Phi 2015, David Jones.
For a group of young men, this could be the biggest opportunity of their college career. A group of hard and dedicated students are competing to see who can be this year's 2016 Mr. Beta Phi. The pageant first started in 1988 as a contest to see which contestants could raise the most money to be titled Mr. AKA. In 2015, it was reinstated into a scholarship pageant, giving us David Jones as the first winner of Mr. Beta Phi on Ball State's campus.
Well, financially, I would say that it was great, of course, to get that $1,000, but I mean, I'm here on scholarship, so it wasn't much of an impact in terms of money-wise. It was just good to accept the award. Academically, though, the time invested into the pageant, while I learned a lot about myself, it did kind of take away from my studies because I had to put in so much practice time and stuff like that. But overall, it was a great experience, and I would definitely do it again.
Now these young men have been raising money all these last couple weeks to get this scholarship together. Now the Mr. Beta Phi King will receive a $900 scholarship, and then the Mr. Beta Phi Prince and Duke will also receive smaller scholarship amounts. Each contestant will receive a gift as for participation. Again, the pageant starts tonight at 7:08 here in the Student Center on Ball State's campus. Here live in Muncie, Allison Edmonds, NewsLink, Indiana.
Beta Phi is asking for one canned good or a non-perishable donation to enter, as all proceeds go to Cardinal Kitchen. Cool temperatures are on the way out just in time for Halloween.
That's right, 70-degree temperatures are on the way. We'll have your full weathercast after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
This cold weather has definitely been around recently, and Abby, I don't think it's going anywhere.
You know, I don't know, but I did have to break out my winter coat this week. And I know Halloween weekend is coming up. A lot of people want nice weather for trick-or-treating.
Well, I definitely do. Jackie, what can you tell us about the weather?
Yeah, well, don't get a little bit excited because the cold weather will definitely not be staying for long. Currently, it is 51 degrees, and that's a picture earlier of McKinley. You can see it's a little bit cloudy, and it continues to be cloudy now. The winds have died down to 10 miles per hour. Looking at the high for today was 62 degrees with a low of 50. The average, the record for 2000 was 80 degrees, which is pretty remarkable for this late in October, and the low was 20 degrees in 1962. So it's definitely a good thing. We're not having to bring out the heavy winter jackets and boots quite yet. Look at the national temperatures. You can see Muncie is actually one of the coldest in the country. Las Vegas 78, Denver 83. In the plains, it's currently in the 70s, and that warmth will be transitioning into Indiana. You can see it's already 69 in Kansas City, and we'll be seeing the effects of the weather coming from the west to Indiana. Taking a closer look, in Indianapolis, 52, Terre Haute, 53, Kokomo, 48. So for north central Indiana, it's pretty much in the low 50s. In the past few hours, we've seen a lot of cloud coverage, but luckily moving into tonight, those clouds will definitely be disappearing, and we'll have a nice sunny day for Friday. So that's definitely a plus. No need for any bad weather, anything like that. For tonight, it'll be 38 degrees, so definitely if you're going out somewhere, I'd recommend bringing a heavier jacket. It'll be pretty chilly. Tomorrow will be 66, so like I said, the clouds will disappear. It'll be a nice and sunny day. Just a great start for the weekend. And for the full 7-day forecast, like I said, the weekend will be really warm, 77 on Saturday. Monday will be 72 for Halloween. So if anyone's going trick-or-treating, there's definitely no need to bundle up like we've had to in the past. Tuesday, we have a nice Ball State home game. It'll be 77 degrees, so it's definitely a great game to go out to, albeit the weather's pretty fantastic.
Well, Jackie, thank you for that weather report. Sounds like it's going to warm up and no
Yes.
more winter jackets for me.
Thank goodness.
Cubs fans are joining us. Their favorite baseball is close to baseball glory. Their story next in sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Taylor Morton. Sports fans around the nation have their eyes on Major League Baseball World Series right now, as the Cubs are tied up with Indians 1-1. Many Ball State students have a deep passion for the Cubs, and for a few students, their passion was on display for a national audience. When most Cubs fans found out their beloved team was going to the World Series after a 71-year drought, it was a moment of cheers and hugs, shared with family and friends. And for many Ball State students, rooting for the team 240 miles away, southeast of Wrigley Field, it was an emotional moment they'll never forget.
We were here on Saturday night when they clinched their berth into the World Series, and there were a lot of tears. We had to clean up the house a lot after that because we popped some champagne.
Connor Onion has been a student at Ball State for 4 years, but a diehard fan of the Cubs since he was 2 years old. For 19 years later, an additional 150 Cubs games attended, his love for the Cubs has only grown. He says being able to witness the Cubs in the World Series is something he's glad he's not missing. So he rushes back to the living room so he won't miss another thing.
I might need to go check on that.
In the home of Alyssa Van Vossen, it's not as rowdy when watching the game this time. She shares her love for the Cubs with many people, and for Game 2, her boyfriend Ryan. Her appreciation for the team has been passed down for generations, starting with her grandfather.
He's watching it from heaven. His birthday was actually the day that they won the game to get into the World Series. So we know that Grandpa John was up there pulling for us. Yeah. We've all been Cubs fans, and we've been able to, it's been able to keep us together like a strong bond. We kind of say it's like another religion in our family.
So whether you consider it a second religion or just a tradition passed down from grandparents, being a fan of the Cubs and watching them compete in the 2016 World Series is a cherishing moment many Ball State students like Connor and Alyssa will be spending with their family and friends. Ball State soccer has officially logged another title to their records. The Cardinals defeated Miami today 2-2, claimed the regular season championship. This marks back-to-back seasons of defeating the Red Hawks to clinch this title. Ela Zwiller and Lucy Walton scored the 2 goals on the day. For Ball State, the Cardinals are now ranked the #1 seed and will start MAC tournament play this Sunday at 1 o'clock on Brenner Sports Complex. The football team has a few extra days to prepare for its matchup next week. The Cardinals have a bye week this Saturday. They will have to wait until Tuesday to take on the undefeated Western Michigan Broncos. Currently, the Broncos are first in the Mid-American Conference and are ranked the 20th in the entire country. Western Michigan is heavily favored over Ball State, but the Cardinals do have home field advantage. The game will kick off at Schumann Stadium Tuesday at 8 p.m. We have soccer at home and Sunday at football at home on Tuesday. A lot of opportunities for Cardinal fans to come in campus and cheer on Ball State.
That sounds really exciting. That sounds like a great weekend for sports. Hopefully I can get out
and
catch
I'm excited.
A game. Halloween festivities are going on here in Muncie, and we have a preview of all Halloween's Eve bash ahead.
And some big news for Grand Ole Opry fans coming up in entertainment.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Caitlin Lang with your entertainment news. Who says adults can't have fun on Halloween? Before you take your kids out trick-or-treating on Monday, head over to Cornerstone Center for the Arts as they host their second annual All Hallows Eve Bash.
Cornerstone volunteers are already setting up for what they call the biggest Halloween party in Muncie. This adults-only party will feature 3 bars, 2 DJs, and plenty of scares for your Halloween weekend. But more importantly, to event organizers like Jeff Robinson, it's a way Cornerstone can raise money.
We all as a staff love Halloween, so it was an easy thought and easy thing to come up with. But secondly, it's just important because we have to raise funds to support this organization as a nonprofit.
Part of the $20 entry fee goes toward preserving Cornerstone's 6-story building, a former Masonic temple built in the 1920s. The rest of the money helps Cornerstone's arts education program. They offer $15,000 in financial aid and discounted classes.
We do classes, everything from visual arts, theater, music, dance, martial arts, fitness. We have a little bit of everything for everyone here.
Partygoers get another perk with their ticket, the opportunity to go through the haunted house on Cornerstone's top floors. Usually the Son of Scaravania haunted house costs $12 each. Robinson said the haunted house helps make the Halloween party unique.
More than anything, the reason I like the party personally is in the past on Halloween, before this party, I would go out on the Saturday before Halloween. I would always go to a bar or to a Halloween party. It was exactly the same as every other Saturday night except people are dressed up. So this is something different, it's something fun.
In addition to helping a good cause, you could win a little money while you're there. Come dressed in your best costume for a chance to win $200.
Entry starts at 7:30 p.m. this Saturday and the party goes from 8 until midnight. For the first time in its 91-year history, the Grand Ole Opry will be opening a venue outside of Tennessee. The company that owns the Opry House will open the Opry City Stage around April 2017 in Times Square. The venue will feature retail space, a listening room, a bar, and restaurant. Colin Reed, the chairman and CEO, said they hope to expand to other tourist-heavy cities in the future. Live in the newsroom, Caitlin Lang, NewsLink Indiana.
Now for our final look at weather, you can see it's definitely going to be getting pretty warm for this weekend. Saturday 77, a slight chance of rain showers in Sunday morning, although highly unlikely, but you never know. Monday for Halloween, it'll be 72, which is pretty awesome for trick-or-treating. Definitely no need to bundle up or wear anything heavy. On Tuesday, we have our home game on 8 o'clock, so it'll be 77 during the day and definitely warm for especially the first day of November. So I definitely encourage everyone to go out and enjoy the day and the football game.
Definitely good news from weather, for sure.
Yes, I'm glad we had a pretty cold day today, but it's good. It's going to be warming up.
Great.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.